Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve and this large item in front of me would be an attack helicopter. This is an Apache attack helicopter, extremely detailed. If you buy it and you don't fly it and you put it on your shelf, it's going to look awesome. So yeah, you got the option of flying it too. Now, if you go to look for this model on the StirlingKit Store, it is called the F11-N. So look for the F11-N Apache attack helicopter and you'll find this model in desert yellow. Not too often do you see this helicopter in desert yellow, so this is kind of unique. But what makes this helicopter extremely attractive is it comes in a ready-to-fly kit for beginners or enthusiasts. So you do get the remote with the Heli, you do get batteries and a battery charger, and you get a pile of accessories. But the best accessory of all would be this hard carry case. This is pretty decent to store it in and carry it to the field in. Now I'm gonna guess you've seen this helicopter before. I've done reviews on this helicopter in the past in a different color and it was very expensive. This is the inexpensive model because there is no GPS in this model. However, it still is designed for beginners because it has optical flow, it has altitude hold, and a 6-axis gyro. Now, since they took the GPS out of this unit and just used the optical flow system, they had to use a better than average optical flow system. So the one in this is outstanding. You're going to see me fly it in this review in strong winds, well, pretty strong winds, and it's not even going to notice the winds. So to me, the optical flow in here has LiDAR as well as optical flow. But if I look at the specs online, it never mentions LiDAR. But when I look at the optical flow and the system beside it, it looks like LiDAR. So now I'm going to show you my review so you can see how well this does in the wind and how cool it is to fly around even for a beginner. And after you watch that review, I'll show you the unboxing, I'll show you what comes in this case, and then come back to me and I'll tell you the negatives and positives. Here we go. Now we're outdoors and we're going to try out the F11-N. The good thing about today is it's pretty windy. We have about a 10 to 15 mile per hour wind happening right now. Put what that is in kilometers on the screen. So with the wind and this heli, we're going to see how well it does. The only other thing I have to worry about is Tractor Man is over there and hopefully he doesn't come my way or else he's going to ruin my video. All right, let's get on with the Maiden flight. I have not flown this. Everything's in the box. I've charged up the batteries and that's about it. So let's just yank it out. It's probably going to be stuff flying everywhere here because I haven't really put things away. So we pull out our remote and oh my god, I have kids over there running. I don't know if my little hat cam picks it up. I've got kids everywhere. They better not come over on my field. This could be a terrible review. Let's take out our heli. I already have a battery in the bottom. You can see it there. And if I show it on my hat cam, the battery is here. So this thing's ready to go. I require nothing else out of the case. So I'm just going to close that and we'll stick our case over here. All right, for the Maiden flight, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to turn this way so you can see the controls on my little remote here. So over here, I'm going to leave this on lock. The switch goes up on lock, leave it on lock. Don't worry about the other switches because there's nothing you have to change. Just power it on. There we go. She's on and you will see it is a beginner remote because the joysticks sit in the middle. So that's beautiful. Next, we pick up our heli and we just press the power button. Hold it in. You can hear it all starting up. Green lights on the bottom and place it down. The cool thing about this version is there's no GPS in it, so you don't have to wait for it to get satellite lock or anything like that. It's ready to go pretty much right out of the box. Now I'm going to do two things really quick with this flight is I'm going to start it up and launch it, and I want to see how it flies, just hovers here. Then I'm going to land it. Then I'm going to put a Insta360 GO Ultra, brand new on the market, on one of the arms so that I give you some flight footage of it flying around. So you'll get footage from my hat cam and from the camera on the heli. This should be cool. I want to see how it does in the wind, so here we go. I got kids running everywhere. Okay, to start up the motors is pretty simple. Just unlock the motors, pull the joysticks down and out, and she spins up. And that's pretty much it. Lift up the left joystick and she'll launch. Maiden flight, here we go. Let's see if that LiDAR works. Oh, look at that, baby. So you can see it's sitting on an angle in the wind. Yeah, look at that. It's fighting the wind. So let me get my hat cam down here. Look at it. See it on an angle? That's because the wind is blowing this way. And so it's trying to fight itself by going back that way. But there's no GPS in it. This is just LiDAR working here. So that's pretty decent. And that's a pretty big heli. Wow. All right, so let's just bring it back here really quick. I'm just gonna do a little loop with it, fly it around really fast. And we'll do a little A little loopy, I call it a loop. I'm just doing little spins here. Just see how it flies in the wind. Because when I put a Go Ultra camera on it, that's quite a few more grams of weight on it that it's gonna have to lift and fly with. So I just wanna see how it's going, but it's doing really well here. As soon as I put the camera on, you're gonna get some pretty cool footage of the heli in motion with a camera on it. So let's land it. I'm gonna land it, there's many ways you can land this. I'll do it the automatic way. Can you see me over here? So if you look at my little remote right here, if I pull this button down, that is land. It says just hold it down. So hold it down, goes into land mode. There we go. And it should shut itself off. And you should always lock your motors after it lands. There we go. So I gotta say right now, I'm pretty impressed with this, that it flies as well as it does in the wind with no GPS. That's very difficult for a product to fly in winds with no GPS, with having no lock. It's just looking at the ground and trying to lock onto this green mesh, the grass, and my little landing pads here, and it did a great job. So here I have the Insta360 GO Ultra, and I'm gonna stick this camera on one of the wings. Ooh, the wind is picking up. This should be interesting. I'm pretty sure it can lift it, and if it does, we're gonna get some good flight footage. So here I've put the Go Ultra on the heli. You can see it right there. It's sitting right on one of the arms. So that should look pretty cool when we're flying. Down here I have the DJI MINI 5 Pro. We're gonna take it up and it's gonna record my flight of the heli. All right, so the wind is picking up. I have the DJI MINI 5 Pro right there, brand new on the market as well. I use it to film when I do product reviews, so this is the first time I'm using it in a product review. It's just gonna circle me autonomously. And I have the Insta360 GO Ultra on the heli over on the left-hand side. So let's see how that goes. The only thing I have to worry about is not fly this into the Mini. So here we go. Oh, let's unlock the motors. Fire it up. Let's see if she lifts that camera. I think it will. It's very powerful. Not only does it lift the camera, it almost lifted my whole landing pad. I had the tail wheel stuck under it. Woohoo! The wind isn't blowing, but look at that baby go. And that's with a camera on it. Oh my God, this thing is powerful. Here, let's fly it forward. Now with the camera on it, I'm gonna bring it back looking at me and fly by me here. Look at that. Looks cool in the air, even with the camera. Bring it around this way. It's a fun heli to fly, no matter what the weather is, it seems. It does quite well. Let's go this way, miss my head. There we are. Now you can go super, super fast and regular speed. So I have it in beginner mode right now. And I'm gonna count down from 5 and I'm gonna go full blast forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full blast forward. Not super fast, but you know, for a beginner, that feels very safe and gives you confidence. So I'll show you how you can go faster, but the faster is not designed for a true beginner because you have to have some skills with the joysticks. The reason being is because when I switch it into the faster speed, it turns off the optical flow. So I'll show you what I mean. Right here, you have a button that says if you push it up, it's optical flow. If you pull it down, it's on manual, no optical flow. If I take the optical flow off, it's gonna blow with the wind that way. Here we go. On the count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, optical flow off. There she goes. I'm not doing that. That is the wind taking it. But now I can fly it manually, and I just want to show you the speeds in manual. Okay, so let me bring it back. I have to now control it in the wind so it doesn't blow into me. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, full blast. It's too fast. I'm doing a circle around me at high speed. This is fast. That little camera on board should just catch how fast it's going. Watch this, I'll take it up over another area where the little kitties are on the ground. I won't go too far because then I got to see it in the sky to fly it. But there we go, I'm going to bring it back to me now at high speed. So I'm aiming the nose at me. There she goes. Whoa, that is fast. Now, your radio will beep when your battery's getting low, so it's telling me the battery is getting low. You get about 10 minutes of flight. I'm still using the same battery from the first video. So let's bring it on down here. What I like about it is it comes down nice and slow, no abrupt smashing into the ground or anything like that. So I'll bring it over nicely and I'll land it. And here we go, over to me. Look at this. I've put the optical flow back on, so it's very, very, very easy to fly. Look at that. And we'll just fly it over and land it over here. All right, coming back over, and I'm landing it manually. I'm just pulling down the left joystick now, very slow. Come on, in the wind, I can do it, I can do it. I want to crash right into my camera almost. Oh, look at that, right on the landing pad. And then kill your little lock and unlock, put it on lock. There we go. So there, I want to show you. You hear the beeping, that means low battery. And if you look at my battery, I am down to 2 LED lights. So I probably could have flown maybe for another maybe 2 or 3 minutes safely. But when you get the beep, it's a good idea to come back and land. Here we have the carry case the Apache arrives in. Opening the carry case, you'll find the Apache, all the accessories, batteries, and remote control. First item in the box would be the user manual. Next, we have the Apache, and it is ready to fly right out of the box. You do not have to attach the blades, they're already pre-installed. You can see looking at these pictures that it is highly detailed, so even if it's sitting on a shelf, it's going to look really good. The canopy is see-through plastic. The landing gear has shock-absorbing wheels. For LED lights, you do have an indicator light on the very top, followed by an LED light on the tail. There's also an indicator light on each arm, left and right. And there's an indicator light on the belly, plus the battery LED lights. The optical flow and LiDAR unit is located here. There is a powerful brushless motor in the tail and also a powerful brushless motor in the main rotor. The battery is easily removable for charging. The belly gun can be added or removed. There's an external power outlet for a light or an FPV camera. The battery is a 3-cell at 1800 milliamp hours. You charge the battery by placing it in the charging pod, then you connect the charging pod to the charger. Spare rotor blades are included, as well as a spare tail prop and a sheet of additional stickers. 2 spare tires are included just in case you lose yours. You also get some tools and a pile of spare screws for the body. The radio remote arrives pre-bound to the Heli, and as you can see, the joysticks sit in the center, very easy to use for beginners. There's a switch to lock and unlock the motors. There's also a button for low and high speed, and a button for automatic landings. This button lets you select between optical flow, LiDAR mode, and manual mode. And this button allows you to change the radio from a mode 2 to a mode 1. This radio is powered by 4 AA batteries, and those batteries are not included. Total weight of the Apache with a battery is 545 grams. All right, you're back to me. Let me tell you a few more things before I tell you the negatives and positives. First off, in case you didn't realize it, if a heli does not have GPS, that means you cannot fly it far away and press a button on the remote and have it come back and land right where it took off. But on the positive side, if you keep hearing about people that fly things with helicopters and they say they have a flyaway, well, a flyaway is something that only happens if you have GPS. In other words, the GPS goes wonky and it starts to fly to a different point where the satellites are pointing it to. Since this has no GPS, there's no flyaway unless you just let it fly away. You saw me fly it and I showed you the low battery warning that goes off on the remote. Well, the flight time per battery with this thing, if you charge the battery fully and go fly it, you'll get 12 minutes of flight time per battery. In addition, the range between the remote and the heli is 300 meters, which is 1,000 feet. That's kind of far. That means you could fly this farther than you could see it. And if you do that, you'll never get it back because it doesn't have any GPS to come back to you. You have to literally see it and fly it back. Now I'll tell you the negatives and positives. And the only negative I could come up with was that you can't fly this at night because optical flow does not work in low light. So if you try to fly it at night, you're on your own. You're flying by the seat of your pants, and you'll still have 6-axis gyro, and you'll still have altitude hold, and you still have indicator lights, but you are fully flying it because optical flow does not work in the dark. Now for the positives, the servos in here are high torque servos, so when you move your fingers on the joysticks and everything, it does exactly what you want it to do. So you don't have to worry about crashing into things because you can cause it not to crash really quick by moving the joysticks. It has auto landing for beginners, so you don't have to hold the left joystick down. It will land itself if you press the button. It can fly in the wind with optical flow because my example that you just watched shows it flying in the wind, and it does a it really well. Not only does it have optical flow, but you can turn the optical flow off and just fly with altitude hold and 6G like you saw me do, which is called manual mode. And you can whip this around the skies at high speed, but it won't drop. The altitude will not drop because it's got the altitude hold happening. So that means for a beginner, it's not super scary. So if you're a beginner, do that on non-windy days so that it's easy. Don't do it on a windy day because it'll be kind of confusing. But you can do it, and the more you do it, the better you'll get at flying a heli. Another positive is you can fly it indoors as well as outdoors. Obviously, we can't get away without mentioning the high detailed molded plastic on this. It's very detailed. So like I mentioned many times, if you put it on a shelf, it still looks good. So if you have the case, maybe take it out of the case, leave it on a shelf so people can admire it, then go fly it every now and then. And the last positive I have are the brushless motors. Super, super powerful. And here for the rotor head, I can look down. I can't show you on the camera because it's pretty dark in there, but it's all metal inside, CNC metal. So it's made very durable. The only thing you could break, which is designed to break and be flexible, are these tiny little plastic things on the outside. If you have a really hard crash the rotors into the ground, but they're all replaceable. And that's about it. So I'm going to put the links below to the StirlingKit website. They have this online, available in this color scheme. I think that's pretty much the only place you can find it in this color scheme. So you might want to go check it out because not too many people have this color scheme. If you have questions on this baby, post your questions below and I'll get back to you with all the answers. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and I'll catch you in a future video with many more cool product reviews. Until then, I say bye.